Welcome inside our studio. I'm Rebecca Lowe, Sunday morning alongside Robbie Earle and Tim Howard, and we're going to get straight into that table. I want to bring back the top half once more because, Tim, never in the last 5 years has it been as tight as this between second and eighth position. There are just, look at that, 2 points between Chelsea in second and Manchester United in eighth. And normally it's a lot bigger than that, at least for the last 5 years. What does that say about this league right now?
It says that there's some parity in the Premier League, which has really never been the case. It's always been the haves and the have-nots, and that's actually been a good thing because you had a bunch of villains and a bunch of heroes, and it's been great. But I like the fact that there's some parity creeping back into the Premier League. I think about this trend of last few seasons of 3 up, 3 down. That got a bit boring. We needed these teams to be better when they came up. I think PSR has helped with that a little bit in terms of how teams are spending money. There's some brilliant managers in the league. I guess there has always been. But teams are finding a way around the budget side of things to be better, whether that be in the recruiting side of it or on the pitch. For me, I appreciate the fact that there's parity in the league. And
I think anecdotally, I don't remember too many times, 10, 11 games into a season, saying that clubs the likes of Bournemouth, the size of Bournemouth, could go second if they win, that Crystal Palace could go into the top 4 at this stage of a season. So do you think, Robbie, that the Premier League generally is stronger than it's been?
More competitive, Bex, and I'm going to point you to Champions League midweeks, where Arsenal played Slavia Prague and pretty much got the job done reasonably easily. They go to Stadium of Light to Sunderland, they got a job on. We're now in a stage, and it's interesting, there's a lot of talk about maybe English football's become a bit simplified. Maybe there's more rotations because of the amount of games. There's not as much time tactically for, the great coaches to work on training. So we're seeing a very different type of football, but I think more competitive. If you look at any areas of the league, the top, now Arsenal drawing yesterday, it's just opened the gap up for Chelsea, for Liverpool, for Manchester City. I'd say to you, tell me who's going to be in the European places. Sunderland, Man City, Manchester United, Tottenham. Who's going to go down? Forest, we believe, will get better under Sean Dyche. Will Wolves, with a new manager, have a bump and come again? So in all areas of the league, there's competitiveness where nothing's a given anymore.
Yeah, it's interesting, Tim, that relegation picture, as Rob says. Wolves have just changed their manager. Forest have Sean Dyche, and he rarely gets relegated. West Ham have Nuno, and they've won their last 2. So all of a sudden, it doesn't look as clear-cut, despite the fact that there is a little bit of a gap.
No, it doesn't. And Fulham can't seem to find their way at the moment. They're on 11 points. Leeds, they're going to have to... Leeds and Burnley, the 2 of the newly promoted teams, I don't think they're playing... They're doing OK to picking up points, but they're going to be right in it. I do think you're right. There's going to be a bounce from some of these teams. West Ham have picked up points, so it's going to be tight down there as well.
Yeah, everything to play for. Even just 10, 11 games into this season, it is tight as ever. Hi there, I'm Rebecca Lowe, studio host of NBC's coverage of the Premier League. Don't forget to hit subscribe to watch more videos all season long, and for even more Premier League content, from original series to live matches, head over to Peacock.